Hey!
Everyone, welcome to Star Wars Culture. I know it's a little bit different today. We're missing Jordan, but I'm Nick, TK7272. What's up, Hannah? What's going on?
Hello. How you doing? Who else
I
have we
know.
got in here? Chad, where are you? Where are you, champion?
I'm right here. Got Commodore Chad Tanula.
Loving the
you
helmet. It's
Thank you.
looking so good. So good. And I'm Hannah, and today we're going to have a look back on the prequel trailers. It's almost 20 years. Well, it's been over 20 years since Phantom Menace was released, and almost 20 years for the other two as well. And we're going to have a look back at the trailers and have a watch through with you today and see if they still hold up, if they're still as good. Do we still want to watch the movies after these trailers?
Don't mind me, I'm struggling.
So good.
I mean, before we get to that, though, we do have a special guest from the Star Wars Underworld podcast,
Yes, we
who's
do.
awesome. Dominic
There he is.
Jones.
How do I point to him? There we go.
It's that way. It's that way.
Hello. There
Hello.
you go.
Hi. Hello. Nice to.
How
nice
you
to
doing,
be here.
Dom?
I'm doing good, and I just want to assure everybody watching this that Chad and I did not coordinate our wardrobes here. This is a purely accidental twinning.
It's the best sign of Star Wars fans. That's amazing.
One of my favorite Star Wars moments was I was going to a Star Wars event, and I wasn't sure if the line outside this place was for the Star Wars event. And so I got closer and closer, and I realized that the first two people in line were wearing the exact same shirt as me. And I'm like, oh, I'm in the right place. We are.
Okay. These are my people.
Yeah. Hello. Here we are.
Oh, that's so fantastic. That's amazing. Well, yeah, it's so exciting to have you with us today for this kind of deep dive and look back. What else have people got to know, Chad? What else have people got to know before we get into it?
Well, let's see here. You can find us everywhere on the social medias at Culture Slate and at Star Wars Culture, pretty much. And Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And
Twitter.
You can find me on Twitter as Chad BTI. As that.
There you are. Chad
not
BTI. So good.
So it's the opposite. What was the opposite? It's so hard. It's like,
mirroring.
I know we're mirrored.
Weird.
We're mirrored here. Oh,
Mirrored
so good.
So
and you
can
you can find me on Instagram at the Raeside on Instagram and Twitter. And Nikk, where can people find you?
Nick, TK7272, pretty much everywhere. Facebook and Instagram and Twitter.
Incredible. And Dominic, where can people find you on social media?
They can find me. Let's see if I get this right. Sort of. There we are.
Nailed it. That was good. That was really good.
I spent the last 45 seconds planning that in my head, going this side.
What's
see? At least you planned it. So.
Yeah. You can find me at J25 Twitter, Instagram, and pretty much everywhere else. By the way, is nobody going to mention Chad's headgear? Are we just going to do the
yeah, that's normal.
Acknowledge it?
Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. I need more helmets though. So.
Oh, that's so good. No, but I mean, it just creates the vibe. I think it makes the atmosphere.
I mean, we could talk about it. We had a whole conversation earlier before stream talking about like working on it to make it like USB and all this Bluetooth stuff.
That'd be amazing.
I want to make this into like an actual working headphone inside.
That should be a headset.
My fear is that I'm gonna mess it up and I'm gonna break it, and then I'm gonna have to get a new one. And I don't want to get a new one. So
no.
Oh, we love Wedge. We always love a bit of Wedge Antilles.
It's definitely the wrong era for what we're talking about today. But
yeah, we're different era. Still works. Well, let's get into it. Let's jump into the first trailer. So we're obviously going to be looking at episode 1, The Phantom Menace. This trailer was released 1999, I believe, I'm assuming. And the movie was released in May of the same year. So let's have a look. We're going to flick up the trailer on the screen and we're going to have a watch along with you. All right, Chad, whenever you're ready.
Anima Matata. I'll never forget the marketing of this movie ever.
They did a so good job at this one.
Mm-hmm. Pepsi cans, Taco Bell,
Pepsi
everywhere.
cans.
Yeah. So. Well, it's just as loud in the movies.
Yeah.
Darth Watto.
You refer to the prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the Force.
Guys, Sam Jackson's in this movie, guys, if you didn't know.
You can see things before they happen.
When does this movie come out?
This is unusually strong with them.
Looks so good.
Papa Qui-Gon.
Tell them to take off!
Will I ever see you again?
Are you an angel?
Tell you. Are you sure about this? Trusting our fate to a boy we hardly know?
Anakin Skywalker, meet Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh man, Obi-Wan's in this movie? All right.
Oh, what is that? I don't remember.
Look at
that.
Yeah.
Can't you?
I gotta check out these Star Wars movies that everybody keeps talking about.
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
I'm pretty worried about
Yeah.
this kid. I feel like something's bad's gonna happen to him.
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure.
Feeling. Oh, nude. Who cares? Nude.
Oh man, this movie looks so awesome. Can't wait to watch it.
Yes, thank you, Dom. I think an applause was very apt.
Oh man, this comes out in '99.
So we can just talk, we'll just
So
talk
close.
to the TVA.
Oh.
It's all right. Oh.
Incredible. Wow. So let's just go across the board. Let's just go around the circle or square more like, and we'll talk about like our first like impressions and feelings, I guess, watching this. Whether it was we watched this way before or just, you know, getting the refresher of it just then. Dominic, I want to start with you. What's your like first feelings of this movie? What's your first like instinct when watching that trailer?
I love this trailer so much. I really think it's one of the best Star Wars trailers that there is. And when I watch it, what I think about, you know, I didn't get to experience it like the actual lead up to Phantom Menace. It was just a little bit before my time, so I didn't properly get to experience it. But what it reminds me of is 2 years ago at Star Wars Celebration Chicago, when they had a 20th anniversary of the Phantom Menace panel, and they opened it by showing that trailer. And the 7,000 people in the auditorium there that were ready for that panel all collectively decided we are going to watch this trailer and pretend like the movie is coming out in a few months and we haven't seen it, and we are going to react as if we are seeing all of this stuff for the first time. So from
Incredible.
from the moment the Lucasfilm logo came up, everybody's whooping and cheering, and when Darth Maul comes on, Obi-Wan comes on, all of those great moments in the trailer, everybody's whooping and cheering as if it were the trailer for The Last Jedi or The Force Awakens or something. And bearing in mind that weekend we had seen the first trailer for The Rise of Skywalker, our first look at Mandalorian, a trailer for season 7 of Clone Wars, trailer for Jedi Fallen Order. Like, there have been a lot of new stuff, and in that moment everybody just collectively decided, you know what, we're going to engage in mass delusion and pretend like we haven't seen this movie before.
Phantom Menace is the one.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
You know, there's one of those moments where you're like, oh yeah, Star Wars fandom can be good. There's so much, there can be so much awfulness sometimes, but it can be good. It can do great things if we want it to. And yeah, it was a terrific moment. So whenever I watch that trailer, we're watching it now, I'm thinking back to that day and just going, what a great time.
What? That's incredible. That's so good. And like, especially with this movie, I think we won't get into it too much today, but you know, it did have a lot of backlash and negativity around it, and a lot of people had not nice things to say about it. So to think that 20 years on, it gets such a resounding positive response is so heartwarming. Like, it's so Star Wars, Yeah. Oh, so good. That is such a feel-good moment. All right, Nick, what do you want to say about this trailer? What are you feeling about it?
Man, nostalgic, because like this was like I was like 8, 9, one of those ages. I don't even remember.
Yeah, like prime, prime Star Wars kid.
So I remember this seeing the trailer out like you know, somewhere, and like being amazed by it, because like a couple years prior in the 1997 like re-releases in the theaters, I got to see the original trilogy out there, and then I was already like hooked on Star Wars. I mean, I ran through cassette tapes like crazy. For those who don't know what it is, we'll go into it later. But anyways,
so good.
But
Not that
yeah, But it was just like,
what is
it was-
this tape you speak of, Boomer?
The
I
tape.
don't know.
This
So-
ancient text. The Jedi texts are on cassette tape. What?
Yeah, we gotta guard them. No,
The
but
Jedi
like
cassette.
it was just crazy because the hype on it was amazing. Because I had just came off of the Shadows of the Empire trip going on.
Yeah.
So I was
yeah.
like full force into all of that. So like this was like my peak like Star Wars time, and like it sucks because I remember all the marketing, but I don't remember seeing that one movie in the theater.
Oh,
Wow. Okay. Wow. There you go.
so,
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
I know. I built it all up for it to just be like, you know,
Yeah,
like,
I know. Yeah. What a good. Oh no.
but it sucks. Yeah, I don't remember that movie in the theater. I remember the re-release, which is crazy, but I don't remember that. And I definitely remember episode 2. We'll go into that. And 3.
Yeah. That is so good. I love that.
do you have that like quintessential Phantom Menace marketing memory of spending like 12 hours trying to download that trailer? Because that's the story I always hear from like original trilogy era fans. They're like, and I know you're not original trilogy era, but like, and that's the story I always hear.
Yeah.
Trying to
That in between.
Yeah, you've got that. You're the Shadows of the Empire generation.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was definitely really young. I work in computers, so like really young, I was definitely into that kind of like stuff. So I was waiting to download it, but then I remember like just because like my family worked in like Disney and like was always watching TV and was really into like all like this is gonna come out, and my family knew that like how much I love Star Wars. So like anytime they knew they were gonna release a trailer somewhere or they heard anything about the marketing, they would tell me, oh, it's this, or it's in the MTV Music Awards, and I would have to watch that, which I love music, so it got me into like getting into that routine before MTV, you know. Yeah, anyways. But I digress. But it was just like the point of the marketing and like the trailer was just so like memorizing to me. Like it just still to this day like sticks out because I like, almost remember at least 3 distinct times of where I was when I saw the trailer. Once in my room between like a WWF down the time like wrestling event thing came on TV. I was all excited. Wow. I had a Pepsi can with like, you know, I think like Padme on it, and like I'm over here building a Lego set on this really bad wooden desk that would give you splinters. But yeah, it's crazy.
That's wow. It's so interesting how much we can remember from that time. That is so cool. I love that so much. And I think we have Jordan with us. I think there he is. Oh, there he is.
Want to quit my day job.
Better late than never.
That's
a
good entry.
My day job. So bad.
What an entrance, Jordan. What an entrance.
What an entrance. It is so good to have you here. We've just watched the Phantom Menace trailer. Yes, I think it.
Love that.
We just watched the Phantom Menace trailer, and we're just talking about all the good times with it. We'll go to Chad, and then we can hear your thoughts as well, Jordan. Chad, the trailer. What is your feelings, your thoughts? What does it make you think of when you see that trailer?
I'm 100% sure yesterday that was the first time I've seen this trailer.
That's so good. So you're fresh. You're a fresh.
Yeah, I do. I love that movie. I can't wait to go watch it in the spring of 1999. It looks so awesome. Can't wait.
Oh, so crisp.
It's gonna look so cool.
Okay, well, so the fact that you've only just seen it, what do you think it does the movie justice? Do you think it like lines up with what the movie is?
Yeah, I mean, if I was like because I was like 4 when the movie came out, so like I don't remember anything around the lead up for that movie. So like I don't. The only movie I remember lead up to was Revenge of the Sith. So like I don't remember the first two.
Yes,
because I was so little.
Whittle, so whittle.
I was definitely.
You were like an Ewok then, yeah.
A little Jawa level.
A little Ewok.
I was definitely 4 years old when that movie came out, so I was probably 3 when the trailer came out.
Yeah, so like I have no memory, but it does justice. I would definitely go watch that movie.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so good, Jordan. What do you think of this trailer?
I think it was maybe so good. I didn't watch it. I'm like Chad, hadn't seen it before, and because I missed it.
Yeah.
I was at my day job.
Yeah.
But
it's because it's interesting having a look back of what it was, and it's interesting seeing a trailer that a movie you've already seen,
right?
Which is
sure.
that doesn't often happen where you've seen the movie and then you see the trailer. Like it's always trailer than the movie. So yeah, same thing.
Should we just pop it up real quick one more time for just Jordan?
Do you want to see it, Jordan?
I literally just removed it.
Come on, Chad.
That's okay. We can just.
Also, not me just realizing Dom's up there. Hello, I love you so much.
Let's all pretend this is the first time. This is the first time. Woo! Who's 27?
Another whoop. Oh.
Is that my dog? No.
Who's the legend? Jar Jar?
It's definitely
Jar Jar's the legend.
It's definitely Padme's
generation.
ship. It's the ship. It's Padme's ship.
It's an akakakakakari.
Yes.
The silver dolphin. The silver dolphin.
Oh, look at that. I remember that. That stood out to me a lot.
That's just.
I was like,
okay. Jar Jar Binks.
Darth Watto. That will now forever be imprinted in me. Dang it.
You refer to the prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the Force. You believe it's this
Nick Fury?
Binks?
Before they happen.
He can't help you.
The Force is unusually strong.
He was meant.
Anakin! Tell him to take off!
I ever see you
Oh.
again?
Are you
Sure about
an
this?
angel?
Our fate to a boy we hardly know.
Anakin Skywalker, meet Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I sense much fear in you.
The boy is dangerous.
Look, I never had a problem with
sense it.
Look, I never
Why
had a
can't
problem with the puppet.
Fear is
I get it. I just thought, look, I guess that's him a little bit younger.
He's
He's kind of
just.
filled out. He ate.
His skin is a bit firmer.
suffering.
He's about to go to war, man. Like. Still out there, Star Wars. Whoa, you almost hit me in the face.
So good.
So,
all right, so Jordan, run us through your thoughts.
It's just so funny to me because whether I realized it at an early age or not, Star Wars has always been a part of my life because my dad and mom had seen the movies when they were teenagers, watching them in the theaters. And I say that because when I was like, right before we played the trailer, I was like, I've never seen this before in my life. Like, I've never seen an episode 1 trailer. Just because I sort of assumed that I didn't. I've seen glimpses of I remember clips playing on TVs at 4 years old. Like, I distinctly remember them playing in, like, my old house on TV. So it's just amazing how Star Wars has always been in my life. Like I said, whether I realized it or not, this is my favorite Star Wars, like my favorite Star Wars fandom story to tell is when I first got into the fandom and I saw Revenge of the Sith. I know we're going to watch that a little later, but I'm on a tangent now and I'm not going to stop.
I ain't stopping.
Revenge of the Sith was my first movie. My best friend back in the 4th grade was like, do you want to go see a movie? And it was Revenge of the Sith. And I was like, okay, yeah, I guess I didn't see the other ones. So sure. And I saw it and I was like, this is amazing. And my dad was like, well, do I have a story for you? And then we watched the rest of the movies and here we are.
That's awesome.
The rest is history.
That's so wholesome. Yeah. And again, it's that same thing of like the feeling and the thought we have when we first encounter Star Wars is always so like vibrant for everyone's memory. It's just like, oh yeah, I was here, I was doing this, I was feeling this. It's just like, yeah, how good is Star Wars? So good. So good.
It's the little things, you know. It's just always the little things, and that's what always sticks out for everyone, and it's the best. It's the best feeling.
And the trailer is just so nostalgic, even though I hadn't seen it in its entirety until now, because it just took me back to like the prequel era, like 1999 to 2000. Heck.
Yeah.
And you know all the cool prequel toys, and like I don't know why, but every time I think about the prequel era and like the aesthetic, I always think about a Pepsi vending machine that like had a dark.
Yeah, they were mentioning Pepsi. Yeah.
So brought to you by Pepsi.
Pepsi was like, we're gonna like market this.
Wasn't there a Gamorrean on there? Or no, there wasn't. No, who was it?
I don't remember.
No, Leia. No, yeah, I think
Saboba. Oh, Saboba. I was like, who is Saboba? Who is that? I don't know her.
Saboba.
Don't know her.
Oh god. Because my first encounter with Phantom Menace anything, again, very young child, and I had two older brothers, and they obviously loved the movies, and they had these cardboard cutouts that you would get like at the movies of Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan, and it was just like a cardboard face of them, and their eyes were cut out, so it was terrifying, and then little arms, and so you just could put the face of Qui-Gon on, and it's just like as like a 5-year-old child just putting that on and thinking, this is so cool, I wonder who this is.
I mean, there was also like Jar Jar mask too, which was creepy.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So speaking of
yes, Chad. He
get off the screen.
Oh, my nightmares or dreams. I don't know. I'm torn.
Speaking of Jar Jar mask, so I don't know if any of my college friends are watching right now because they probably don't like me, but they freshman year of college, one of my college friends who I still talk to today, had a Jar Jar mask, and I was like, why does he have this Jar Jar mask? And like he bought it to school, like he bought it to his dorm from his hometown. And I was like, oh, wow, why? But then the other part of me was like, why are you questioning it? You just found someone with some obscure Star Wars piece of merchandise that you can befriend forever. Like, don't question. So we created a character with the Jar Jar mask, and like he had a poncho, and we put it on our friend who's like 6 feet tall, dark, and handsome, and we called him DJ Poncho, and it was just our friend, our 6'8" friend, in a Jar Jar mask and a poncho, like making music. It was just Jar Jar making music.
It's like a fever dream.
Jar Jar.
Yeah, it was. It was a time.
Sounds like a character that should show up in the Cassian show or something.
Yeah. That Jar Jar right there.
Yeah,
that's his partner before he gets a.
My word.
I'm not going to say I hate it, but I tolerate it.
But back to the trailers, back to talking what we watched. Is there anything? I was actually quite surprised when we saw the dual lightsaber. For some reason, I thought that was only revealed in the movie, because I thought there was quite a lot of reveals in this trailer. And I was like, oh, that you kind of know everything.
You know me, it's not a Star Wars culture episode until I call somebody out. People love to complain that the sequel trilogy trailers revealed way too much. Okay, well, look what you just saw.
Yeah,
you don't think I revealed a lot? Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Dom.
What do you think?
I was gonna say, just wait till we get to the episode 3 trailer. I mean, that thing basically gives away the whole movie.
Anakin Skywalker is about to become Darth Vader.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, think about it. Think about it. Like, back in the day, this was like a real big push, Like, they knew they were planning to make this movie back in 97 when they were doing the re-release. Then they did the Shadows of the Empires to kind of fill that void. And Shadows was first. So it was like this continuing, like, keeping you like hyped. And by that time, after the releases, it's like they already started to talk about, like, Star Wars Episode 1, and they're going to come out in 1999. And that was just like, I mean, they went full force. Like, people were expecting, no one knew what they were going to, come for this movie. Like, this was like, we knew that it was going to be something telling from, you know, Anakin Skywalker in the past, but no one knew what that would look like. So it was very bold for that time, and it was very bold to just kind of show. But the thing is, I distinctly remember, like, especially we're judging from all the content we have gotten now. Back then, like, it was Shadows of the Empire really up to that point, and a couple other books that were growing, and this was starting to really bridge until like the year 2000 where things start to boom. So it's crazy because like we kind of forget those things where we have to look at how simple it really was back then, because like I remember like watching all the Star Wars, and I mean I watched so much and I played so many different video games at that time, and I mean a kid, you don't really comprehend too much, but you get an idea of what the stories they're telling in these games and books. But didn't know anything about that movie, was still fully amazed.
What I find most interesting about the trailer is just like the feeling of excitement that's you feel throughout it. Like there's this building sense that something incredible is about to happen, and whatever you think about the Phantom Menace as a movie, that trailer I think captures that moment of Star Wars is back. And you know, I think the Force Awakens trailers have this feeling too, but I think it's especially there in the Phantom Menace trailer, because it was the first time, like Nikk was saying, there was nothing else, and so this is our first look, or people's first look at new Star Wars, and you just feel, I think you just feel the excitement pulsing through that trailer that isn't there in the next two, because people are, by that point you're more into the story. The sort of the novelty of Star Wars being back has passed, and now you have to, you know, sell people on, here's the Anakin Skywalker journey, here's some other cool visuals that you can expect. Come back to the theaters and see some more.
Absolutely, that's a really good point. I like that a lot, and it's a good point of that. It's the feeling, it's always a feeling, you know, with Star Wars people, fans. And you're right. It's got a very similar.
Like, we're our own race.
right. But it was a very similar feeling for the Force Awakens. I would assume that it was that same. We hadn't had anything. I mean, we had Clone Wars when we had Force Awakens, and a lot more before it. But that feeling of a new wave is coming. Is that anticipation is so major and big. It's such a big feeling.
This trailer and this trailer and the Force Awakens teaser, the very first one, they both sort of have that same moment of like building up with sort of familiar-ish Star Wars music over some cool new visuals to that bang main theme with a fast-paced sort of action sequence, and it's that, I think it's that same feeling of like, get ready, here we go, it's back, there it is.
I want to watch the trailers so bad.
I want to bring this up. Joel here says that the Phantom Menace has probably the purest feeling of the prequel movies, and I kind of agree with that. Like it's true. It's like that movie stand out to me as like a standalone, and also the start, because which is the same thing with like A New Hope if you want to go there too, but like. I won't go there yet. Anyways, let's just
next week. Ooh, talk about anticipation.
Yeah, I won't go there yet. Suspense. But that doesn't mean anything bad in a way. But it's like it's true. It's like it's so wholesome. It's such a good balanced movie that you can always put on for like, especially like for family, like when you have a family, if you just want to just have Star Wars going, especially to get them going into it, it's like that's a really solid movie to start with.
Well, I was going to say, just to summarize, because you know we're going to be talking about the other summary. We're going to be talking about the other two trilogies trailers next week and the week after, I think. But Star Wars trailers, in a way, kind of tell a story in and of itself. Like, obviously the trailers are going to do that, but you know, with A New Hope, it was like, hey, here's this new thing called Star Wars. The Phantom Menace is Star Wars is back, and The Force Awakens said, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
that's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah,
like with The Force Awakens, and again, this is the only thing I'm going to say, and then we're going to talk about it the week after next. But I just remember with The Force Awakens thinking, oh, hell yeah, we're back. But also,
we're home.
Yeah,
we're home.
Exactly. We're back and we're home. Exactly. That's so nice.
And then,
so good. I think with that
and toxic fans later.
Yeah.
No.
Right. Woo. So I think let's move on to our next trailer. Let's move on to our next movie that we got, Attack of the Clones. We're a couple of years into Star Wars. Phantom Menace did pretty well. Lots of marketing out there.
Ready.
We're all ready. You got ice cream ready. Okay, so we're ready. Let's take a look at the Attack of the Clones Episode 2 trailer.
We'll take it though. This movie, man. Oh, this movie.
Ready. Good soundtrack.
They need to play this music clip in more of Star Wars. More.
The movie that starts something big.
My negotiations will not fail.
If they do, there aren't enough Jedi to protect the Republic. We're keepers of the peace, not soldiers.
Come on, Mace.
We're not soldiers. Here's Obi-Wan cutting off someone's hand.
Flying. Well, you've lost him. If you'll excuse me. I hate it when he does that. Anakin, don't do anything without first consulting either myself or the Council. You don't need guidance, Anakin.
And he does it anyway.
Immediately.
Anakin, no. Anakin, yes.
His abilities have made him arrogant.
Excuse me.
Floating fruit.
I'm in charge of security here, milady.
Who are you talking to?
They are using a bounty hunter named Jango Fett to create a clone army.
Wait.
We must stop them before they're ready.
Your clones are very impressive.
They'll do their job well.
They do.
That's why I hate flying.
This is a crisis. The Senate must vote the Chancellor emergency powers.
As my first act, I will create a grand army of the Republic to counter the increasing threats of the Separatists.
Speaking of giving away,
the second last shot of the
Join
movie.
me, Obi-Wan, and together we will destroy the Sith.
The dark side clouds everything. In grave danger you are. Begun this Clone War has.
He said it. He said the thing.
He said the thing.
be careful not to lose an arm.
It's funny because he's going to lose an arm.
That is so good. Such a different. It's a different feel. It's such a different feel. I feel like this show has a yes.
As Attack of Clones is my favorite prequel.
Ooh,
seriously,
cool.
Star Wars called it like super underrated movie. This trailer. This trailer just makes me want to go rewatch it like right now. So you guys got this.
That's why I need to stop watching Star Wars trailers because I feel the exact same way. Like I'll play trailer music that's on Spotify while I'm driving, and then I want to do nothing but watch Star Wars all day. I need to be productive, so I need to stop it.
That's so good. Yes, I completely agree.
Yeah.
But this was a different paced kind of trailer that we saw. Like I feel it's a lot more ramped up. It feels like a good second of a trilogy kind of movie.
Didn't even have to watch the movie.
Yeah. Right? Like, Clone Army, Palpatine's power, he ordered them. Okay, you know.
I love that after all of the negative response to Phantom Menace about the scenes in the Senate of like they're so boring. It's like here it is in the trailer. Oh, you don't like Senate scenes?
You didn't like it?
Yeah.
Here it is in
the
the trailer. Oh, and if you still don't like it after that movie, here's a 7-season show about it.
Yeah.
Every
There's
other
a whole
episode is
show
going to be in
about
that
being
same
in the
building
Senate.
you don't
The
like.
Senate.
Yeah.
Senate spies.
The Senate war.
Yeah, I feel like that was George just flipping off the audience just a little bit, being like, I'll show you a Senate movie.
All led by Jar Jar.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah.
Star Wars shouldn't be political, Star Wars. So we need to vote on a senator now.
You know what's funny? It's like how almost, I think, like it's like we started off with the first trailer and kind of like doing the same thing, and then we're gonna go deep on how much we love it because it's true.
Yeah,
it's like it has its flaws, but these 3 movies here have been a huge impact.
Oh, for sure.
Impact.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
the Attack of the Clones was the movie I saw my dad watching a little while before I went to go see Revenge of the Sith. I didn't know I was going to go see Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
So, and my family is kind of like, oh, if I'm not an adult, then everything that they're watching is not for me. So when he was watching, I was like, this is some weird sci-fi adult movie that I'm not going to care about until I'm probably like 45 years old. Fast forward.
Does that usually happen? Or?
Fast forward 3 months. No, because half the stuff they watch, I watch now, and I'm like, what the hell? But fast forward 3 months after watching him watch these random, it was the Battle of Geonosis. I remember what scene it was too. It was the Battle of Geonosis. And I was like, this is kind of weird. But then 3 months later, I'm now engulfed in Star Wars, and I have a Force Awakens poster on my wall. I wish I could move my camera so you could see it, but it's there.
That's incredible. Yeah. It's again that nostalgia. That nostalgia is so good. It is so good. What I like about this trailer a lot is that the fact that the dialogue isn't as crisp as it should be, and especially like the emotions and the attitudes of Anakin is very grating to some people. But I felt like this trailer kind of encapsulated really well, like his turmoil, not in an annoying way, but it was like, yeah, he's kind of got these dark feelings. It was, talking about, the way he's with Padme, and he's kind of arrogant, and it's like, I like how they started showing that the flaws of Anakin and how we kind of the slow slide into the dark side that he takes. I really enjoyed that for some reason. I only picked it up when I watched it yesterday. I was like, oh, this is actually a good preface to what this journey is. What do you guys
seriously, Star Wars and Joel Davis both brought up good points. I want to touch on both of them. They're not related, but I want to touch on both of them. Seriously, Star Wars said nice mix of OT music and new music in that trailer. And yeah, because remember when the trailer first started playing, the music I was playing was the same music that was in I would almost say Revenge of the Jedi, Return of the Jedi.
You're going really old school there.
Right.
Release window.
And that's my favorite piece of music from Return of the Jedi, other than Jedi Rocks. So it's always nice to hear that. I love that song so much.
We got robbed that the 3D re-releases didn't happen for the original.
I know.
Jedi Rocks in 3D with size flipped right up.
Yeah. No.
I want to get a bunch of Star Wars cosplay. What I want to do is I just want me and a bunch of other Star Wars cosplayers to just do a mini music video of Jedi Rocks.
Yes,
absolutely. We're doing that. We're gonna do that.
It's gonna be great.
Incredible.
And Joel also said one thing about Attack of the Clones though is where the purity sort of leaves the prequels. You could tell George was feeling the backlash from the movie a bit, I think. And yeah, I mean, absolutely, because a lot of people. I mean, that was when Ahmed Best started getting death threats, and he started contemplating the S word. I don't know if we're allowed to say it on YouTube, so I'm not going to say it. But so I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, yes, it was definitely a turn of attitudes with some Star Wars fans at that time. Dom, what do you have to add to this?
Yeah, you can feel it in the movie. I don't know if you can feel it in the trailer so much, but definitely in the movie when Jar Jar's just not in it as much. He was set up to be a pivotal character in the Phantom Menace, and his screen time just went down and went down. And the vitriol towards that character only grew over the course of the prequel era. And it's only in the last 5 years, 5, 6, 7 years that we've seen a little bit of a reevaluation of Jar Jar and its place in it. And in part, I think it was Ahmed speaking up about what he went through. But you go back to that time, and the rage that existed around that character was it's frankly ridiculous to look back on. And you can feel it in the movie, unfortunately, as great as the movie is, and there's some great stuff in there, but you can feel it when Jar Jar kind of disappears. disappears from it, and you can really feel it in Revenge of the Sith when I think he has one close up and one little line.
And then
that
Dave
line is a
Filoni
powerful
said,
line.
Dave
It is,
Filoni
yeah.
said, "Oh, y'all don't like Jar Jar? Oh, okay. He gonna be in every other episode, acting a damn fool, and y'all are gonna watch it.
And
I love it.
And we're gonna give him a girlfriend too.
Yeah.
Yes.
when that
Queen
actor
Julia.
that
Julia.
actor that y'all threatened, he's gonna voice that same character. So he's gonna reprise his role, and you're all gonna love it.
There it is.
Period. There he is.
Where is he?
Our
Oh,
kid.
that's
Jar
very
Jar.
good.
Our
Big
kid.
man. Love it.
He's like,
Love
"Misa,
it.
no joking now.
Joel also said,
Come to me, Annie."
Little Annie.
Joel also said, "Wonder what it was like seeing Christian Lee coming off the trilogy that was being released at the same time. Booked and busy. Period.
Yeah, that's actually
all
a
I
good
gotta
point
say
to
about
bring
that.
up. Yeah.
Booked and busy.
Yeah, it was definitely a good addition, and I loved all the scenes that he was in. But Chad, you are actually a resident like Lord of the Rings fan as well.
I mean,
What have you got to say about this?
Pretty much like all the filming for the Lord of the Rings was done like in the late 90s, so I'm pretty sure he was done with all this filming of that. So
Oh, nice fact check there. That was good. That was good. but yeah, it was. I loved his character role in this movie. I think it was definitely necessary, and then obviously to get so much more of that character of Dooku, because Dooku's a very interesting character, and the connection he has to the Jedi and the Sith, and kind of understanding more lore about it. I think he just kind of incited more information about understanding the religion of the Jedi and how
And he's just so smart. He's so smart because he was like, "I'm going to tell Obi-Wan the truth, and Obi-Wan's not going to believe me."
Yeah, it's so
Like,
good.
"Hey, I'm not. Yeah, look, I told you. Look,
Yeah, and then at the end of the Lost Arcs in the Clone Wars, Obi-Wan was like acting all surprised. I was like, I don't know who you're trying to fool. Just because you look like Space Jesus and everybody worships you doesn't mean you're not stupid. Yeah, I said it. Obi-Wan had a stupid moment. What y'all gonna do about it? Absolutely nothing.
I can't stop you. That's so good. Let's talk about more about the feeling of the trailer itself. Do we feel like it did justice to what the movie is? Nikk, I'm going to throw this to you first. Do you think it showed what the movie is?
Oh my god, I remember this so much. This movie, it's the most I've watched of any Star Wars movie, and that was
That's right.
Honestly, yeah, this is like not by choice. But I love Star Wars, so I still want to watch it. So if you want to hear that story, it's in the past episode. We'll probably find it and tag it on here.
Yeah.
But I remember the trailers and being like, okay, this seems crazy. Like this is gonna get like nuts already. Like Anakin's probably gonna start going dark. Like you see him like all angry. I'm like, all right, cool. And I go in and watch it for the first time, and I kind of remember feeling like, what the hell did I just watch? Like I was kind of confused. Like I knew like the clones and what was going on, but just to me, like the story just didn't feel as epic to me at the time. But it wasn't until watching it probably the third time, and then from the third time to the fourth to the fifth, I started to find all these different like things to the movie. See, I mean, of course, back then it's like it took a lot longer for them to come out to own. So by watching it, I was able to start that path of learning of like how much I really loved watching Star Wars. So it's like nitpicking and learning all the different things. Oh, like, well, this guy's saying this, or I started to hear Joy's just like bickering in the background, and it started to evolve into like little details that came up from like previous movies, or like just everything from there. Started from that movie, from watching it like over 20 something times or whatnot.
Yeah. Insane. But no, I totally agree. It was there's a lot in this movie as a whole. So and the first time I watched it, I had that same feeling of I kind of have to rewatch it again and make sure I got all the plot points, because it kind of churns through it. But I feel like the trailer does do it justice of the scale of what the movie becomes, because it becomes really large. It's not just like a couple people on a ship trying to get somewhere or fix the hyperdrive. It's like it comes a war, and it becomes that real large scale that continues the story. Dominic, what do you think? Do you think this trailer does the movie justice?
I think it does the second half of the movie justice.
Okay,
I feel like there's shots from throughout the movie in it, to be sure, but I feel like what it's really selling is that back half. Everything from the Obi-Wan's fight with Django and Camino up until the end, and a lot of the sort of slower putting pieces in place stuff is kind of left out of the trailer, sort of understandably so, because with the trailer you want to show those big bombastic action sequences rather than the smaller character moments. So I feel like you might watch that trailer and then go and see the movie, and for the first half be like, okay, where's all the action? Where's all the wars in my stars? And then you hit the second half, and it's incredible. And watching, there's always moments for me in Star Wars that I sort of kind of forget how good they are. The asteroid field chase in Empire Strikes Back is one, and the Battle of Geonosis and Attack of the Clones is another, because I know they're good. Like, as we're talking about, I'm like, these are great scenes, but whenever I'm watching them, there's always that moment that hits me where I go, oh, yeah, this is a really good movie. This is a really good sequence. And watching the trailer and seeing all of those little moments from Geonosis, I sort of had that again where I'm like, oh, wow, this is a great sequence. This is classic. And I can only imagine what it was like for people in late 2001, early 2002, seeing that and knowing that that's what was to come in May of 2002.
Yeah, absolutely. Chad, chime in here, champion. What have you got to say? Give us.
I like, it's a favorite Star Wars movie, hands down. Like,
I like how vicious you are about it. It's good too. Like,
hands down. It is my favorite. I don't care what people say. The dialogue's clunky. Yeah, who cares? Get over it. All the Star Wars movies.
I was trying to get somebody to argue with him because he's ready. He's got his points ready.
Like, do you want us to say no?
Yeah, I almost feel like I start playing devil's advocate just to let it go. Just be like, no, Dad, it's a terrible movie.
Yeah, I get it. The dialogue's bad, and people like. I get it. Some people think the dialogue's bad, and it kind of is in spots. But all of Star Wars dialogue is very bad. It's pretty bad. So.
Yeah.
It's also,
a stage show in space. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, like the speeder bike chase or the speeder chase in the beginning of the movie, that was so awesome. I love that. I have to find that. Like, I have that Lego set somewhere, and it's in pieces at my parents' house, and I got to rebuild that because
that would be a good Lego set. Yeah.
It is. Those are like, because it came with like Anakin's yellow one and Sam's little one too. It was so awesome. Need to find that. Need to rebuild it. And then that, like, the last like hour of the movie is just nonstop action. You lead up to like, you're like, okay, this is kind of boring, and then you're like, oh, okay, we go Anakin slaughtering like people, sand people, and then
that's true. I forget that.
And you're like, what is going on here?
You just off he goes.
What is going on here?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, he just slaughters a whole bunch of sand people. I'm like, okay. I guess. That's so good. Whatever. I mean, even just like him on the bike, like going out to that is just like excellent.
That's true. That's an iconic thing.
The music in that scene is so perfect. I love it.
It's so beautiful. Like, using Duel of the Fates there. I think it was David Collins who does the soundtrack show. He described that one time as like Duel of the Fates is literally the dark side and the light side fighting each other. And so in Phantom Menace, you see that like physically manifested with Qui-Gon and Darth Maul. And then in Attack of the Clones, you use that music again, and it's representing what's going on inside of Anakin. It's the light and dark fighting over who gets to control Anakin's destiny. And it's a soundtrack that you expect to use in a lightsaber duel. And so to use it just when some guy's riding his bike across the screen, it's such a bold and brilliant choice.
That's like my asteroid field whole like scene for Attack of the Clones. Like, that's like equivalent to me. Like, that's probably one of the most standout moments and also like best moments in the movie as a story driven side. I know that some of the acting in those scenes afterwards can be stale, but when you really put into the context of what's going on, it's dark. I mean, it's really dark. I mean, he just did his actions, and then he's over there whining, like teeny whining about it, like it was just nothing. Like, it's just a strange situation that no one should be in. Like, it's really uncomfortable, and I think that's what's the realism to it, to me at least, that I would connect with. It's like that's like Like something's wrong
absolutely.
there. And it's just like, oh, it's okay. You know, it's fine. But that goes to show too in the galaxy, like how people treat everyone, like what they see or feel about people. Like if that was anyone else that is walking around the streets in Tatooine, that's like in Mos Eisley or Mos Espa, like everyone's just like, that's a whole different ballgame, you know, that's wrong. But because they live, you know, they were tribal, like, you know, they're still people. But my name's Anakin and I'm a person.
Exactly. No, yeah, kind of piggybacking off that thought of the thing I love about that, like that conversation of the dialogue that happens in the prequels, and especially I find in Attack of the Clones, is that I don't actually have a problem with the dialogue, because what is important is the pauses, is what's not said, and the moments that are silent. Is that, like, in that moment I feel where he's talking to Padme and he's saying, I slaughtered them like animals. Like, that's it. Like, you know, that kind of exchange is kind of strange and odd, but I feel the pause that he takes when he has the tears in his eyes, like that has the emotion, and that kind of carries the emotion of the scene and what's happening and the characters. Like, I feel like it's always the pauses that everyone's like, oh, the dialogue's like not doing it justice. Well, look at the pauses and where they're like stopping, and those feelings where you can feel the moment and the tension. That's what I love. Yeah,
another one would be just as you were describing that, another one occurred to me. It's the scene that's being memed all the time now in the field.
Yes, yeah.
When he says, when he's talking about how he thinks the galaxy should work, and she says that sounds like a dictatorship, and he says, "Well, if it were." And there's this like terrible pause where everybody's like, Oh, this is that guy who's saying, "Oh, yeah, no, I think we should get rid of democracy." And then he tries to play it off as a joke, and everybody just sort of laughs along because they don't want to believe. Yeah. Oh yeah, funny.
Oh gosh.
Oh, look what that lent you, buddy.
That's so good. Oh, Attack of the Clones. There's so much momentum to this movie. It's such a good movie. I do enjoy this trailer so much, and it sounds like we all do. Any last thoughts? What do you think?
I'm ready. Just realized my mic was muted for like 3 minutes.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
I thought you were being awfully quiet.
No,
what have you got to add?
I was just screaming, and no. Well, I was saying about making my joke about Anakin supporting dictatorships. He was like, you know, like Nick said, you're all laughing uncomfortable. We're all laughing with him uncomfortably. Because, oh my God. And then, you know, 4 years later, democracy dies with thunderous applause. So,
speaking of that, episode 3 trailer.
I think so. I think it's
great segue.
Yeah, that's a good
segue.
segue.
My first movie, so it's my favorite. Like,
let's do it. Revenge of the Sith. Let's hit this trailer. I'm ready. Is the trailer ready? That's the question.
I think the trailer.
Yeah, we're ready.
Oh, the trailer went bye. Actually, I think we lost Chad.
Chad.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a reenaction.
As we wait for him. Revenge of the Sith. I vaguely remember this movie coming out. Again, I think I was only about 5 or 6, but I can remember definitely having older brothers helps remembering the kind of the hype that they had and the interest that they had, and a lot of Star Wars toys at home. And with that, let's get into this trailer.
Hold on here. I'm trying to find. I literally lost the screen. Give me 1 second. Jesus, like everything just wouldn't work for me here. It's like, surprise, Nick.
I mean, it's the dark side. It's the dark.
All right, here we go.
Dark side of the Force.
Let me know if that's too much.
I don't know about you guys.
I'm not sure if we're getting sound.
Really?
Yeah.
Ironic.
That's okay. Let's give that a second.
Do you think we can act it out?
Let's just voice dub it. Can we just voice dub it?
Yeah, let's do that. That's great.
Let's see how well we can do this.
Oh, I was gonna be completely stupid. I wasn't gonna try and get it right.
I was so ready to do it.
My computer like froze there for a second, and I had to back up for a second.
I was like, we lost him.
Yeah, I died.
I have to
died for a
apologize
second.
to the audience. I'm just sitting here eating ice cream. I've been at work
That's okay.
since 7 o'clock this morning.
We're watching trailers.
Don't
today.
apologize.
You've got to have good movie
Don't
snacks.
apologize.
Yeah. I have my
All right,
banana, my post-show banana ready. I'm ready.
You guys ready for
I
this?
feel left out. I don't have any snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, man.
Let's do
Okay,
it.
yes. Trailer. Here we go.
Can we still voice over it?
The preview green in all the trailers is so just bright, and I don't know if that's just a YouTube video, but I hate it.
Is that the Bad Batch?
True.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
That's my favorite line ever.
To learn this power.
Not from a Jedi.
The Council wants
Everybody
you to
had
report
Anakin's hair at that
all the
time.
Chancellor's dealings. That's true.
I did.
We are
Luscious locks. You still do. What are you talking about?
Very dangerous putting them together. I don't think the boy can handle it. I don't trust him.
Same.
I need your help, son. I'm appointing you to be my personal representative on the Jedi Council.
You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
What?
The rank of
Obi-Wan in the
Plo Koon.
Council.
Oh, burn.
Learn to know the dark side of the Force, and you will achieve a power greater than any Jedi.
You're under arrest, Chancellor.
Are you threatening me, Master Jedi?
It's
It still gives me chills. This part,
Yeah, this
it
is
gets
good.
dark. It's like it sets the tone. It's like
Every single Jedi is now an enemy of the Republic. Do what must be done.
he's on dial-up.
Do not hesitate. Show no mercy.
He couldn't afford the bill for Order 66, so he had to make do.
By the dark side, young Skywalker has become.
I feel so helpless.
I do too. Right.
You were the chosen one!
Ooh. Yes. Oh,
You want to talk
so
about a
good.
trailer revealing too much?
Yeah,
Oh.
That
that's
was
less
good.
like a trailer and more like the previously on for Rogue One.
Right.
Right? Oh, that is so accurate.
Can we talk about the scream though? Just there's like in middle of a screen of Darth Sidious going, "Nah!" Just like that.
That's true. I was also going to mention his laugh. I love his laugh. Like, it's so good. Oh, but I think from our reaction, you can tell it's a pretty damn good trailer. I don't have a lot of qualms with this
Trying to joke, but
trailer.
we all
It's
get
pretty
quiet.
good.
We're like,
That's so
yeah,
good.
we're like, yeah.
Yeah. Did you see me go? Ooh, I like clenched my pearls. I was like,
it was when the
girl,
boom, boom,
what?
boom, boom. We're all just like, okay.
Yeah, as soon as it got to that really momentous part, we all just went, oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a amazing trailer.
Now,
Let's yeah.
I was just gonna
Yes,
say,
what do you think about this
my,
trailer?
My story about this being my first Star Wars movie, so that just unlocked a wave of just, I don't know what to call it, but like, God, I love Star Wars so much. Like,
so good, so good.
Um,
the only gripe I have is one. I feel like in the trailer, one of the really interesting and enthralling moments is when Palpatine lunges at Mace and Kit and who else is there? You know, lunges and then it's a 2.8 second fight. Like that's my only gripe. Like, make the fight longer, please. It's just like that was a really.
It was longer,
right?
Maybe we'll get one one day.
Ooh. Extended cut. But yeah, amazing.
Release the Lucas cut.
Yes, Lucas cut of the Kit Fisto cut of the fight scene with Palpatine.
The Fisto film.
Yes,
that
amazing.
does not
amazing.
sound right.
There you go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
The Lucas cut. Wasn't that what that was?
Yeah. Also, people. Let me stop.
So you
go
go
on another sequel-related tangent about people like release the Abrams cut. Shut the. I'm sorry.
That's incredible. But staying on Revenge of the Sith, staying in this realm of episode 3, Dom, let's go to you. Let's talk about the feeling of this trailer. There's so much momentum behind this, and we're about to, this is the bridge to the original trilogy that we're getting. How do you think this trailer holds up, 15 years on from when we first saw it?
It takes me back. Like, this is the one that I remember. The way I remember seeing this trailer, funnily enough, was on the DVD for the Clone Wars micro series. They had the trailer on that. And I would watch it over and over. I think I watched the trailer more than I watched the actual series back in the day, because that trailer is just incredible, and it takes me back to those days, the lead up to Revenge of the Sith. One of my earliest Star Wars memories is seeing the teaser trailer for Revenge of the Sith. Not even that one, the one that came before it. I remember going to see The Incredibles with my aunt and my brother. And
what a movie.
Yeah.
The Incredibles.
And I remember we were in the theater, and I remember seeing the teaser poster for Revenge of the Sith, which was Anakin with his cape billowing behind him and that sort of forms Darth Vader's mask, and thinking, oh wow, I get to see a Star Wars thing in the wild. This is so cool. And then sitting down and the trailer beginning and seeing the Lucasfilm logo and going, oh my God, I'm going to see new Star Wars. Oh my God. And that feeling carries over into this trailer. And wow. And but man, oh man, does that thing give away a lot. Like it has Obi-Wan yelling, you were the chosen one. And it, like, that's the equivalent of if the Avengers Endgame trailer had the moment where Cap is standing there about to face off with Thanos, and you hear Sam in his ear go, on your left. Like, that's the equivalent to what they're giving away there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it still makes it so incredible, because and Revenge of the Sith is unique in all of the Star Wars movies and in every movie ever, where it's such an anticipated movie that everybody knows how it ends. And so they just clearly went, all right, screw it. Everybody knows how this ends. Let's just put the whole movie in the trailer, and hopefully that'll bring everybody in for what we thought was one last ride.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, absolutely. Nikk, I'll throw that over to you as well. Your feeling similar?
This movie was like, every time I saw the trailer pop out, like anywhere, always instant chills. Like, I was hooked. This was like end of high school for me. Like, this movie was like everything. I was like looking forward to this movie. I remember getting the novel before and reading that and being like blown away. And at the time, my sister worked at Blockbuster, so I ended up getting like a copy of the game before the movie, which kind of ruined it for me. But then again, I did finish the book, so it's like, I guess, to each your own, whatever. And that whole but that trailer, it's so dark and it's has such an emotion that still stays strong today while we watch it. I still get goosebumps. Like, it hit so many feelings in the right way, and it was also weird to have such a dark movie kind of feel like being the last. But it was like, when you think about it, you're going back and watching the original and getting that happy ending at the time, but it was just like this was like a different time, a different feeling, and like memories of going to that theater, because then again, that's where that guy got in the lightsaber fight and fell in the pond, the little lake thing, and
that's right.
Disney Springs and stuff. Again, story in another video.
Yeah, go check it out. We've got to clip that. Amazing.
Just unlocked another memory for me there, Nikk, of reading the novelization before the movie came out, because I did the same. Although I think I read the junior novelization or something, and then being at scout camp a couple of weeks before the movie came out and spoiling it for everybody, being like, "Oh, I know what happens. I remember somebody asked me, how does Count Dooku die? And I acted it out for them with toothbrushes. I'm like, they go like that. And
That's so good.
Yeah. Everyone asking, like, oh, how did it end? I'm like, you really want to know? I'm like, he cuts his head off. And everyone's just like, that doesn't sound right. No. I was like,
and like, what I love too is that it's at the start of the movie, and it just sets up like okay, we just killed like the main Sith character like at the start of the movie. What the hell is this going to be about then?
Right.
So it's like it's such a good setup for the tone of the rest of the movie. And actually, Nikk, you were saying something really interesting there, because as growing up younger, I didn't. It was weird. I didn't like Revenge of the Sith because it was so good, because I was so upset of what happened. Because it's just a downward slope of just despair and darkness, and it ends not on a happy note.
Yeah.
And it's like that was so good that I was like, I just was so upset at it.
But it comes and clicks to you at the right time when it's meant to, and that's the beauty of it. Because I remember sitting in the theater for the first time watching it, and once you got to the scene where Anakin starts to spiral, like you're just hooked. And it's just like, I remember sitting in the theater and feeling like a whole different like atmosphere once like things were done with Obi-Wan and he was like settled and he's getting situated. It's just like at that time there's not a lot of music, and then it just started to get really awkward, and I remember just feeling weird. Like I was like, this is like either it's going to go one or two ways. They're just like wrapping the storyline and he's going to go and whatever, and then something else would happen. At that time didn't think about Order 66. I mean, like no one really knew like what happened with the clones. Like people had speculations. There was stuff in the books at the time, and but it wasn't really fleshed out, and like it was interesting. It was just a whole experience, especially like just that Obi-Wan fight. Still to this day will always hit. It's always deep.
Yeah, absolutely. So in kind of saying that, in talking about how it creates this Revenge of the Sith creates this mood it was really heavy. Do you think this trailer would, like, if it was released today and like the prequels had just come out and we're up to Revenge of the Sith, do you think it would do better or worse or the same as when it came out?
If this movie was a template for what would, and they just like CGI was where it's at now, and then like just the acting, how people act today. Oh my God, this movie would be dark, and if there was no worries, it doesn't have to be R, but like there's a lot more that's accepted now. So I feel like this could have gotten to a whole, like I feel like the original, like the prequel trilogy could probably have a lot more of a fleshed out storyline. And like a deeper dive of the brotherhood between Anakin and Obi-Wan, and like really feeling, which helps with the Clone Wars, which I love that we have that, because I get that now. And I think that we're starting to get down that path with Star Wars, but it's just like it's like bittersweet, It's like I'm glad we got the prequels and what we have, but it's also like I kind of wish that that's what this direction was now, and maybe we had gotten the sequels then.
Yeah.
A part of me feels like the sequels would have fit and felt better at that time than
that's it. Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. Yeah.
Just with the nostalgia trying to hit the way that they did it now, I feel like that the sequels in a time period of how Star Wars kind of works, it's like everything in the original trilogy kind of filled in the aesthetic of that time, like in the 70s and then the 80s and all that stuff. So if it would have made sense that the sequels could have been there. And I get that they wanted to wait till Luke got older, but then, we'll get into that whole tangent, and I can go into that later when we get to that point. But there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that, maybe we would have gotten a lot more of lore and not have to worry about going to the whole High Republic time now. We could have had Clone Wars and build up to the prequel, so and grow to that. But again, we wouldn't have gotten Ewan, Hayden, like it would have been a whole different ball game. And again, bittersweet. I'm happy with what we got though.
Amazing. Dom, I'll throw this point to you as well. Hello, everyone. What do you think about the would it do the same or better or worse if it was today?
Oh man, I don't know. It's such an interesting thing with Star Wars and expectations that people have for them, and I think we see this anytime there's something that's a continuation of a Star Wars story, or something that's related to the Star Wars story of the original trilogy. And I think we saw this a little bit with the prequels, where people wanted a story that where Anakin turned into Darth Vader halfway through it, and then for the back half, it was just Darth Vader stomping around the galaxy being evil, and that's not the story. And I think we ultimately got a more interesting story because of it. And then we see it again with the sequels, where I think everybody had a lot of expectations. They wanted Luke to be more like what he was in The Mandalorian, perhaps, in the sequel trilogy. And what we instead what we got was a story where Luke is kind of a broken old hermit, which to me is an extraordinarily interesting concept. And I think Last Jedi did a lot of interesting stuff with it. So it's tough to play with the expectations. So I don't know. I think the prequels, the love for them has grown over the years. And so if they came out today, I sort of think the reaction would be the same as it was back in the 2000s, because people would have spent just as much time, if not more, imagining how Anakin became Darth Vader. And this probably wasn't exactly what people were imagining. I think the reaction would have been very, very similar. And the prequel renaissance that we're seeing now, where people are revisiting and reevaluating those movies, wouldn't take place until 2032 or whatever, 10 years from now. So it's an interesting, but it's an interesting thought experiment, though, of like if we flipped the release windows for the sequels and the prequels, would it have been different? And I don't know. That's going to be that's what I'm going to be thinking about instead of working tomorrow.
You're welcome.
Good.
I always think about Star Wars instead of working. So
right. Oh, so good.
He's gonna actually lose sleep over it.
My boss will be like, "Hey, can you go do that thing?" I'll be like, "But what would have happened if Attack of the Clones came out in 2015? What would happen? I don't know."
You don't need to work tomorrow. You don't need to work tomorrow, Don. Star Wars is more important than work.
That's so good. So good.
Just because of what happened at the end of season 7, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my god!
I know what's happening right now during all of this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all I have to say about it.
Imagine if that was coincided. What if Clone Wars came out like the same month Revenge of the Sith came out? Season 7 of Clone Wars came out the same month.
That would just be insane. That goes into what we were talking about.
I almost spoiled Black Widow because I was going to say it's going to do something the same way Black Widow did. Blah blah blah.
Chad, please don't.
I'm with Chad on that one. I haven't seen it yet.
Never mind. It was a good movie though, but this is a Marvel culture, so I'm gonna shut the hell up.
Well, to start to wrap up the show, this is been one of our longer shows, but it's good because we've had lots to talk about, lots to say. Just overall, do we think these trailers still hold up? Do they still have that punch, have the emphasis of Star Wars feeling that we want? Does it make us want to go watch the movies?
Yes. As a matter of fact, bye. Goodbye.
But
it's over. Bye, everyone. Yes. All right. Thank you.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. I feel like we're all in kind of a conjunction, agreeing that it definitely carries that feeling still so long after. Final thoughts for everyone. Final things to say about these trailers. Dom, we'll go to you first. How do you feel about these trailers as a whole? All the three.
Oh, they're so much fun. There's so much fun to look back on and either reminisce on that time or imagine that time of the feeling of seeing those movies and seeing this new look at the Star Wars galaxy that people hadn't had. In some ways they're a product of their age. There's a lot more spoilers in them than I think we would ever see today. Even if Revenge of the Sith came out this year, I don't think we would have gotten that trailer. I think the internet would have gone insane about spoilers and everything in there. So I don't think we would have gotten that. So in some ways they're a product of their age, but they certainly capture that feeling and that excitement of wanting to sit down and watch a Star Wars movie. And like everybody else, I have a feeling I'm gonna, as soon as we get off this call, I'm popping in the Blu-ray and watching. I'm not sure it's one yet. I don't know yet, but they're so classic. It's
just watch them all, Dom.
Yeah,
just watch them all
at the same time. Watch them all at the same time.
You're already not gonna work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you might as well just stay up and watch them all. I don't know what time it is where you are, but
we got time.
Are those Han Solo's dice on your mic stand?
They are. Yeah.
Let me just realize that's so good.
Han Solo
Nick,
actually gave it to him.
Yeah. No, they're not a projection. They won't disappear in your hand.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So good.
Nick,
your feeling about all these trailers?
Still the same. I mean, like they make me want to watch them now, and I already watched them this week. So, but it doesn't stop me because I'm literally probably watching Star Wars every day. It's a little bit crazy sometimes, I just have it playing in the background. But I feel like the trailers do hold up today. Granted, to like looking outside of CGI work in the look of the movie for its time, but like just the way it's cut and how it's done, minus the reveals, obviously the crazy reveals, it would definitely be done different. But if you're looking at the impact that they were trying to go, I would definitely feel like they would have tried to portray that with this. We would have gotten a totally different trailer, but it still would have been as heavy. Like these movies were a totally different feeling and tone. Like this wasn't a happy Star Wars. This was like,
yeah. We're going down a steep slope. Whew.
Star Wars grunge phase.
Yeah. It was definitely, and this was even the dark times. It's crazy. I mean,
that's true. That's so true.
Episode 3 is pretty dark, but
Jordan, what do you think of all these trailers?
I said before the Republic. I'm so dumb.
Jordan, what do you think of all these trailers? Do you think it encapsulates like the feeling of Star Wars enough?
Yeah, for the most part. The Attack of the Clones gets a 0 out of 10 because there was no mentioning of hating Sam. So, man,
If you're gonna do a trailer for that movie and you don't put it in there, why
bother? What was the point?
That's
all
good.
I gotta say about that. Revenge of the Sith unlocked all those memories that I had stored away, not suppressed, just stored away because I had to make room for other memories.
Just ready for
when you need nostalgic
them.
Purposes when I get super depressed, like yesterday. But we don't have to talk about that. We're not gonna talk about it. We're just gonna talk about Star Wars.
But Star Wars is such a good feeling. It brings that a good sense of nostalgia. Hey,
sure.
Do we have a favorite? Do we all have a favorite of those trailers that we just saw?
The Phantom Menace, even though it's my least favorite movie.
Really? Okay. Yeah. No, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree. Phantom Menace, I was surprisingly enjoyed thoroughly. Nick, Dom?
Revenge of the Sith for me.
Yeah.
I get the feeling, but to me personally, just because of the time and what it like,
what happened,
what it felt, what it gave me.
I can't pick between Phantom Menace and Revenge of the Sith, so I'm going to say Attack of the Clones.
There you go.
Good medium.
That was the right choice.
Chad.
That was the right choice.
All right, Chad.
I was like, Q Chad coming in, telling us. Oh, that's so good.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Phantom Menace was probably my favorite, but Attack of the Clones. Chad, was that? Yeah, of course it's his favorite.
Obviously.
So good.
Oh man,
amazing. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, any more thoughts before we close out?
I think that's it. I think that's all.
I'm
Dom,
good
I
here.
love you so much. Like, you're my favorite person in the world.
Thank you.
To let you know that.
Thanks, Jordan. Appreciate it.
Jordan, don't you have something coming up this weekend?
Yes. Yeah. So this weekend is Comic Palooza here in Houston, Texas, on July 17th and 18th. Star Wars culture, me. I will be there with a good friend of mine who has loved Star Wars for as long as I have. We've known each other since we were like 10 years old.
Is it DJ Poncho?
No, it is not. I wish it was, but it is not. But
Misa be dancing.
We will be there doing a live podcast from Comic Palooza on Sunday, July 18th from 1:30 to 2:15 Central Time in Texas. I don't have the other time stamps or time zones, so just figure it out. I don't know how it's going to work as far as streaming. We're going to figure all that out. If not, it'll be up the day after, so you guys will be able to watch it and support me. And if you're in Texas or you want to take a last minute trip to Texas, I'd love to see you.
I mean, Katie Sackhoff is going to be
so
there.
good.
Yeah.
Yes, Katie Sackhoff. Oh, I'm so jealous of
Bo-Katan,
that.
Fennec Shand, the
That like
guy, the other black
rhymes.
guy.
Rattle it off.
Yeah.
Giancarlo?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Is he there? I think he's going to be there. Yeah.
Not me forgetting their names.
So good. So good. Now, Jordan, let's close out the show. Let's what do people need to do at the end of the show?
Yes, Sam. They need to leave. Goodbye. No, I'm kidding. Goodbye, everyone. Just leave. Okay. No, seriously, guys, thank you so much for joining us on another wonderful episode on Star Wars culture. We're gonna be talking about the trailers for a couple weeks here to come. So stay tuned for that. We're just gonna be vibing, just gonna be talking about some trailers. Thanks, Dom, for joining us. Like I told you before, you're kind of my favorite person in the universe right now.
That's going on my resume.
Good. Yeah.
Jordan's favorite
It'll
person.
surely get you a job. So, but can you just go ahead real quick and tell us where people can find you on good old social media?
Sure, you can find me at Dominic J25 on Twitter and Instagram, and then you can listen to the Star Wars Underworld podcast each and every week on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your show, and our Bad Batch review show, Podforce 99, which both Jordan and Hannah have been on, and we have tried desperately to get Nikk on.
I know. Life works.
There's rain, everything happens.
Don't live in Florida, please.
Yeah.
And don't work.
Chad was on the most recent episode. There he is. And
yeah.
But the podcast gods have kept Nikk and I apart for too long. So.
No longer.
No longer.
Almost
no longer.
there.
We'll
Almost there.
With that, though,
StarWarsUnderworld.com.
Amazing. So good. So good.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a while not to like lose myself because I was laughing so hard, but for sure, because we really suck at saying it, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you can also follow us at Culture Slate pretty much on TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter, and anywhere really.
Yeah, we're everywhere.
Culture Slate, we're everywhere. We toys see everything.
Oh my gosh, niche reference. Oh, so good.
So we're here every day, every Wednesday. Every day, I really wish we were. No, but every Wednesday at 4 PST. And that's actually at the PM because we're not in the morning. And then 7 PM EST.
So good. And you can find us in Australia, 9 a.m. every Thursday, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to check out our Patreon as well. We've got all exclusive content back there, some good memes from the show. That's all at patreon.com/Culture Slate. That's it for this week. Thank you again, Dom. Thank you to everyone for watching. That's all from us at Star Wars Culture. And as always, may the Force be with you.
Always.